Dewitt Scott back again with the Moraine Valley Library collaboration for the Black History Month curation. And the title that I am discussing in this particular video is a book that may not be well known to a whole lot of people, but definitely one of the most important books when it comes to Black history. And this is a book entitled Walking with the Wind. All right, Walking with the Wind is the autobiography of the late, great John Lewis. John Lewis, as many people, or some people may know, was a civil rights activist who later went on to a political career in the state of Georgia. But this book is absolutely amazing in the way it chronicles his life in his words, from his upbringing in rural Georgia all the way through the civil rights movement and everything that he experienced as a political activist, as someone who dedicated his life to making this world a better place. It leads right up into the 90s, early 2000s, and his political career in Congress. But the book is just, it covers a lot. Absolutely one of my favorite books of all time, and it is a book that I really just devoured when I first came across it. Anyone that knows me knows that these videos and these books that I do, like, I really read these books. Like, this is not, I'm not on Wikipedia getting this information. I'm not skimming through these books. Like, I really read these books. There's no other book that epitomizes my engagement with any of my titles than this one. If you look at the way that I've sort of, I mean, it's literally ripped in half, right? It's ripped in half. It's highlighted to death. I mean, I lived with this book when I first got my hands on it. And it was actually given to me as a gift by my academic advisor when I was in college. It was a graduation gift. She gave it to me at one of our last meetings right when I was leaving campus. And sad enough to say, I was finishing college, and at that point, I had never heard of John Lewis. I didn't know who he was after finishing college. So she gave me this book and was like, you know, DeWitt, I think you really would enjoy this. You would enjoy John Lewis, everything that he stood for, his life. And I was like, okay, I'll take a look at it. And when I started to read it, and it was just, I mean, I couldn't put it down. I read it everywhere I went. I've even used it to teach in certain experiences where I teach, particularly in Cook County Jail. And it's just, I mean, it's amazing. It is a history book in itself. It touches on just about every major point in the civil rights movement. It is just as good and just as informative as any history book you will ever find in any school, K-2, K-12, higher ed, or whatever, right? It chronicles these major points, right? Everything about the civil rights movement, everything surrounding the civil rights movement from a firsthand perspective, someone who worked with and knew personally Dr. King, but also knew Stokely Carmichael, also went on and was very close and working on the campaign for Bobby Kennedy before his assassination and everything like that. So John Lewis's work, his autobiography, may he rest in peace, Walking with the Wind, absolutely a must for anybody trying to understand history, Black history, and the civil rights movement.